Google search, and particularly its PageRank algorithm, continues to fascinate the world. The formula for how Google is able to calculate the value of websites on the internet is a secret that the search giant keeps tightly locked. However, the broad approach for how it works has actually been found to also work in other areas. Dr. Aurora Clark, who is an associate professor at the Washington State University and a team of colleagues from the University of Arizona, recently released a paper that shows how Google's PageRank can be applied to chemistry. And Dr. Clark is joining us now by way of Skype to talk more about this intriguing research. Thanks so much for chatting with us today, Dr. Clark.
My pleasure.
Well, first of all, just explain to us how the concept of applying PageRank to the molecular world even came about.
Well, you know, oftentimes in science, it's students that are the real drivers of kind of the next generation of thing that people are doing. And in this case, my colleague Renee Corrales and we had a joint student named Barbara Mooney who had a computer science background. And I think the fact that she had a computer science background and was going into chemistry allowed her a lot of cross-fertilization in between what are normally two very disparate regions of science, computer science and chemistry. And she was very familiar with this programming language called R. And R actually has a module within it that allows you to do PageRank analysis. And so she brought forth the idea that perhaps we could use PageRank analysis to understand some of the more subtle chemical behaviors that we were observing in our computer simulations, because we're computational chemists.
Right, so how does the world of websites and linking relate to the natural world then?
Well, anytime I think you're looking at connectivity, it doesn't really matter what the individual pieces are that are connected. What matters is the fact that you have, you know, two species. In our case, we're interested in water molecules and how water molecules interact. And so basically we took the Google PageRank algorithm and we replaced the units of websites within that algorithm with molecules, and we defined an interaction between those molecules, and we said that that interaction was like a hyperlink. And just like the Google PageRank algorithm allows you to kind of look at millions and millions of websites and kind of classify the extent of that interaction and prioritize that interaction, we can do the exact same thing with our water molecules, and we can say, aha, you know, we have some water molecules that have all of this interaction, and then we can correlate that interaction with things like reactivity that's occurring within water itself.
Now, what does this development mean not only for research methods, but also for overall society?
Well, I think that the reason why this has kind of become really popular and people have been so interested in it is not only, you know, have we developed this research technique that people readily relate to, but I think that it's widely applicable across multiple disciplines. Anytime, you know, a scientist is interested in how organization and connectivity affects a reaction, you can use this PageRank analysis. And so it could be applicable to biology, where you're trying to understand how the structure of water around a protein may help it fold. It could be, in my case, we're interested in the environmental remediation of toxic elements, and we want to know is how that organization of water influences the reactivity of those toxic elements. It could be in people that are interested in pattern formation and how crystals form. There's a really broad scope that this type of technology could be applied to. And you know, this is, I think, the first instance that it's been applied to chemistry, but this software program was actually relatively easy to write in the context that, you know, a lot of the infrastructure was already there. We just had to kind of transform our data for it to be read. And so what I'm really hoping is that this technology is able to penetrate multiple disciplines. And you know, all of this funding all of this research is based upon funding from institutes like the National Science Foundation and the Department of Energy. In our case, it's the Department of Energy. And you know, what I hope that this shows is that, you know, that the taxpayers are really getting the most bang for their buck. This is something that readily applies to them and can help scientists to understand a wide variety of problems that helps everyone.
It really is fascinating how far-reaching that this software could go.
Yes, we were very excited about it. Once we were able to see this correlation between reactivity and structure, everything kind of clicked, and then the implications, I think, became more real to us.
Right. Now, is this something that you expect will be widely adopted by research labs across the country?
Well, it's certainly, this is an open source software. Anyone can download this software. And like I said, I think the fact that it's relatively easy to implement and tweak for a specific researcher's application makes it makes it more easy for that to occur. If a new technology is difficult to get to adapt to your systems of interest, it means that there's like this added burden, right, for someone adopting it. But in this case, the burden's pretty small, and so I do think that there's a high likelihood that that a broad variety of people can use this software.
As for the challenges, what are some of these that you need to overcome going forward?
Well, since no one's applied this technology to chemistry before, we're really interested, and I've got a number of students that are now kind of tasked with kind of probing how sensitive this technology is to subtle deviations in chemistry, and to how, what types of values we should be expecting from it. And so I think that there's actually a really large amount of kind of fundamental physics that we need to learn, because anytime you develop something new, you kind of have to probe where it's applicable and where it's not applicable, and that's really where we're at right now.
Just in the very early stages.
Yeah.
In a statement to WebPro News, Google's Amit Singhal said, quote, "Our goal in search is to help people expand their knowledge of the world, and we're delighted to see that our PageRank algorithm is being used to do just that with this innovative and efficient molecular research method," end quote. How does this statement make you feel?
Oh, well, the first time I heard that, I was really just totally off-the-wall bonkers happy. Because, I think that on the relative echelon of things, hearing the senior vice president of Google comment on work is really exciting. And it certainly made my students really excited, and they were just over-the-wall happy as well. And I hope that, keeping that love of science and that love of excitement of discovering new things, that's what keeps all of us going on a day-to-day basis. And so having that acknowledged was really special.
That's great. Well, moving forward, do you plan to investigate other aspects of computer science to see if they can be used in new areas as well?
Well, part of the overall research scope within my group is to develop new software programs. And, for us, it's kind of one of those necessity is the mother of invention types of things. And so, for us, oftentimes these new software programs that we develop just come about because we have a distinct need. And one thing that this whole process has shown me a great deal is that I shouldn't be less afraid to, go down to my computer scientist colleagues' doors and say, hey, I've got this problem, what do you think about this? And it's definitely taught me, I think, an important lesson about the importance of interdisciplinary conversations and interdisciplinary aspects to my scientific adventures myself.
All right, very interesting. It's been great talking with you, Dr. Clark, and thank you so much for sharing this research.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. With this WebPro News Report, I'm Abby Johnson.